What is going on, guys? It's your boy Connor. Um, Sorry if it's a little close up. I can't find my tripod anywhere, so I just have to hold it as far away as from myself as I can. I'm sitting up on a deck. It's a nice little deck. It's peaceful. It's shady because of this tree, so in midday it's kind of nice to hide in the shade. Uh, but today's topic is who does the corrupt king kill first in his court? Now, this is obviously an allegory. It's obviously symbolic, but it has truth to it. A lot of truth to it, actually, the more you look into it. So there are various members of the court. You can use your wild imagination. Queens, the trusted knight, political opponents, political allies, whatever. Whoever's in the king's court, you can imagine. But who is the first person you get rid of when you are vying for power in your kingdom? That would be the Jester. Or the Joker, whichever one you want to call him. Now, I feel like the Jester and the Joker get a mediocre representation in media. Like, most of the time, they're just stupid. They make dumb jokes that aren't funny. Like, they're intentionally not funny. And, like, they're the only ones laughing, and everyone's, the king is, like, sort of amused, but whatever. But the actual symbolic meaning of a jester and a joker is to point out the actual absurdity of the king. Like, the jester actually has a role like no other. And when done correctly, when you listen to the jester, he's actually telling you the things you need to hear in a light-hearted way. A light-hearted, funny way. That kind of makes people feel as if it's true, or it makes truths that people don't like to hear heard in a way that's kind of comical and funny and lighthearted, which makes people more willing to accept what you say. Just think of like a modern day comedian. Comedians are always pushing the boundaries of what is politically correct because it's a truth. What political correctness does is kind of suppress the truth. I'm not saying you should just go around saying whatever the fuck, but I do think that political correctness has gone way too far, and it has retreated a lot in a way, but it also hasn't in one specific area of our lives, and I'll elaborate. Um, like back in 2016, this was my Gen Z formative years, and we all remember the woke mob. Everybody's canceling everybody for saying something inappropriate, and then they started attacking comedians. Comedians were the first people to get attacked. And there's a reason for that, because comedians have a way of spreading a message in a lighthearted way that makes people think, huh, I never thought about it like that. And like, it also points towards the absurdity, like I said earlier, of this entire power control grab. They try to make it seem like it's the most serious thing in the world. That's the thing with everybody nowadays. A lot. This might be a side tangent, but it's like everybody takes everything so seriously. And actually, the seriousness makes gives them more power than they need. Than they, we think like we talk about the Jews and these like puppeteers of the world, and everybody believes in this elite class of people who rule over us. But when you give them that significance, you are giving them significance to the point where they feel, because everybody else is telling them all the time that they're the elite class, they're the smartest, most powerful people in the world. No one ever points to them and just laughs and says, "You're just fucking ridiculous." Imagine if the whole world heard all this AI stuff and all these people's dreams of turning the financial system into a social credit score and turning all this AI stuff into you'll never have to work. You're just going to be a slave for the rest of your life on UBI, or all this depopulation stuff. Imagine if everybody just laughed them out of the court, so to speak. and said, no, we're not going to do that. Like, that's ridiculous. That's absurd. That's the point of the jester. And who does the king kill first when he's vying for power? Is the jester. We need to take people like Peter Thiel, Ben Shapiro, anyone who's just constantly vying for power, Trump, Biden, all of them, all the fuckers who we think are like controlling the entire world. They're not controlling the entire world, guys. They're not. They are absurd. Everything they do is a joke. They're not building wealth. And in the long run, they will lose. You always lose. This is why there are things that are timeless and have core principles to them. Is because in the end, these people are going to lose because they mathematically cannot win. You cannot rob and plunder the nation's wealth forever because the nation will eventually have nothing else for you to rob. And then when people hit rock bottom, they make a choice. And when that choice is made is when everything turns around. I would love if people would right now just stop taking these people so seriously and laugh at them like we're the fucking jesters in their court, you know? They're just a joke. These people are a joke. They don't have real power. They might seem like they have real power, and yes, they have some power more than we do, but like on an individual level. But at the same time, it's about the ideas. You just need to laugh their ideas off and not participate. People overestimate their ability to control the world, but they underestimate their ability to control themselves and their own world. People seem to have this idea that, like, if only I could change everybody else's mind, the world would be a better place. You're looking at it backwards. You need to change yourself, and everybody else needs to also agree to change themselves, and then the world will be a better place. You don't need everyone to decide to agree with what you're saying. You need other people to decide to work on themselves. You need to be the generation who says, we're going to fix ourselves and our problems, damn the consequences, because I want better for myself and more importantly, my children. You know? I say more importantly, my children. I'm probably going to do another video on this, but like a 1-minute side tangent about it is that a lot of this really is just a depopulation distraction. You know, these people don't want that many people. It's hard to control billions of people. Like, you just can't do it. They physically know they cannot control that many people. So what do? They have planned destruction of people, especially cultures and peoples who tend to be more independent or more anti-authority. Well, look at America. America is the base case of this entire thing for a reason. Because we were, in spirit, we still are technically in spirit. We're just not in practice, but in spirit, anti-authority. We were the ones who basically said, fuck you, to the world's most powerful nation and said, we're going to be our own state. We're going to make our own world, our own way. That's why they're trying this in America first, because they know if America can get destroyed by this, they think that the whole rest of the world will follow suit. They're wrong about that anyways. Like, people are not all stupid, People can see what's going on. People are all watching this in live. Like, they think if America falls because they have some of the best fighting spirit. I still believe that's true. We're very rah people. But even if America gets destroyed, they destroy that spirit, the whole rest of the world is going to wake up to what the fuck they're doing. Their playbook is all recorded. Everybody can see it. All it takes is for people to point and laugh at these people and say, fuck you, we're not doing that. We're going to live our nation, we're going to lead our nations the way we want to lead them. And that's it. Boom. It's not like I say, be more like the jester. The jester is smart, but he doesn't present his image in a way in which he makes the king above him. The king and the jester are equal. He is the one person in the court who is actually equal to the king in a weird way. He has the ability to point out the king's flaws without getting killed, without actually seeming like he's trying to usurp power, because he's not. That's another thing about the Jester. The Jester isn't trying to vie for power. He's not trying to overtake the king. He doesn't need the king's position because he's already part of the court. He already has what he needs, and he is enlightened to the idea that all of what the king does is basically absurd. When I'm saying a corrupt king. A true king is rare, but they actually try to fix the entire country and make the thing better, whatever. Country, civilization, you know what I'm saying. There are people who are actual true kings. And you know what they would do? They would listen to the Jester, because the Jester points out things you can't possibly see in yourself. But if you're a corrupt king, you kill the Jester. The Jester is pointing out your flaws. He's making you seem absurd. He's making everyone else laugh at you. And when people laugh at you, you're not taken seriously. That's why when you go somewhere that feels dystopian, no one's laughing. No one's smiling. People are miserable. People feel like everything is, like the situation is dire at all times. You have this constant anxiety about everything. We need to make our own communities. We need to separate ourselves from this giant machine that is going to collapse at some point in our lives. And we need to build something better. That's it. It's not hard. No, it's not simple. Sorry. It is simple, but it's not easy. I know I butchered that, but it's simple, but it's not easy. Because that requires a sort of leap of faith and trust in yourself. That you can make something, create something that is better than the shitty life you have now. You know? It's hard to do that. It's like, why don't people switch jobs when they're miserable at their jobs? Because they're scared. They're worried. They think, oh, well, what about the risks? What if I don't find something better? Yeah, but like, you're never going to be better if you never try, if you never risk it. You have to take the risk sometimes. Everybody with technology is starting to learn that the people in power fucking hate you. They just fucking hate you. Like, they are like literal demons. These people are either literal demons or they're completely possessed by demons, because they think of you as a fucking statistic. They literally have organizations of how can we depopulate. I mean, that word, depopulate, that just means killing more people. Kill more people than are born. It's either how do we get less people to be born, or how do we kill more people? Which, let me tell you, they do both. They just don't say it. But it's like, all it takes is for you to look through their words like this much, and you realize they have an agenda in which they fucking hate you. We need to stop being scared to not take a risk. You know, take the risk. It's better to have taken the risk and failed than to keep going with the machine that's gonna fail anyways. Alright, guys, that's my little rant. It's gonna be a good little thumbnail, or whatever the title is. But hope you guys are doing well. Leave a comment, like, subscribe, whatever. Comments, I prefer comments. Peace.